What it do, y'all? You already know we're back with another video. As you can tell by the title of the video, we are finally dropping the succession guide. It only took this long because one, I was still learning the succession for Hashashin. A lot of people say he's a lot easier than Awakening. I just find Awakening a lot easier than Succession. So before I posted a guide, I wanted to learn everything I could about him before I posted this guide. Also, remember this guide is basically how I play the Succession, so you don't really have to play the same way I play. I'm also gonna go over the skill points, skill add-ons, and combos. And you already know at the end of the video, some quick gameplay of the Succession and the combos that I mentioned. Also remember, you don't have to listen to this if you already know how to play this the Succession, but you can also learn a thing or two from this. Or maybe if you see something that I'm doing wrong, you can also influence me, teach me, let me know that I'm missing something. All right, y'all, we're gonna keep this quick and spiffy. So listen, you already know the first thing you gotta max out is your passes. So let's get that out the way real quick. Okay, you guys already know the first thing to max out is your, passes, because they're the most important. So boom, now let's get with the real skills. Get this, get this. This one is optional. Rupture is really a optional one to use because it can sometimes mess you up because it's kind of stationary and it doesn't have a super armor, so you can either get knocked down if you use it at the wrong time or if you accidentally used it after a certain skill. So it's up to you entirely if you want to use it, but I personally use it. All right. Tail cutter. The reason why I lock tail cutter is because one, when I'm trying to use rupture, I accidentally use tail cutter, and when I'm trying to use tail cutter, I accidentally use rupture. So it kind of like messes me up sometimes on the combos. So I just locked one, and personally I didn't really like tail cutter like that, so I just kept rupture because it has pain damage and it does a lot more damage than tail cutter. So that's the reason why I locked this. But if you like using tail cutter, you can also keep it. If you know how to use tail cutter and rupture at the same time, by all means use them both because they're both really good. Sometimes I can't use them both because I get messed up the combo. So yeah, purge. This is gonna be your main skill. This is gonna be one of your main skills that you get first. This one, you also need Ridge Reaver. These two skills are your bread and butter, most important skills. You also want to get your Owl's Dominion. Oh, before you get Owl's Dominion, you also want to get your Owl's Breath. And this skill right here is the best skill in Succession. You turn into a tornado and you're in super armor. As you can see, super armor while using skills, so you have super armor while in disguise. So it's really good. And it does a ton of damage, especially in PvE. But let's go ahead and keep going. Descent, you already know you gotta get Descent. Descent is just too important. Descent is just too important. Too important. Okay. All right. And after that, like I said, you wanna get Owl's Dominion. I'm tripping. All right, let's get that. This Mirage, and boom. This skill right here is stupid fast. Sand Warp, Prime Sand Warp is stupid fast. It's too freaking fast. I think that's why people like using Succession a little bit more because of Prime Sand Warp. You're completely invisible. Yeah, you'll see. Oh. Holiday Throw, you already know you gotta get this. This is your teleport. After the nerf, I don't use the teleport often. It's just, the animation is just too slow, but hey, make sure you get your your buff, Doom Slash, not the actual one from Awakening, but yeah. This skill, oh my god, I love Binding Spirals. Yo, it's a great skill. It's a great skill. CC, I think it's a stiffness, right? Yeah, it's a stiffness, reduces DP, and it does a lot of damage. It's really good for people who are like an archer or a wizard who are trying to run away from you. Anyone who has range and they're trying to use that against you, you have that to either stop them, stiffness them for a few, catch up to them with Prime Sand Warp, and you know, etc. But I explained that in a few. You already know, get your quicksand. You already know you gotta get these. You gotta get your chosen blade. Your prime chosen blade. This skill right here is amazing. Chosen blade is a lifesaver. This was another reason why. This skill right here was another reason why I did not use Tail Cutter, because Tail Cutter is a super armor with basically a little bit of movement. This basically does the same thing, just a lot better. And you move a little bit further than Tail Cutter, so I prefer this one anyways than Tail Cutter. Next one, you already know, Piercing Tornado. You need this if you want to get your mana back. That's a fact. All right, so as you can see, I'm already at 15 skill points. I got no more skill points left. So basically after that, I don't use Sand Divider like that. It's great. It's a great skill. It does a lot of damage when you know, max it out. Well, a little bit of damage, but it has a float, you know, accuracy plus 9% and everything. But I just don't see myself using it like that. I don't know. I just have too much more. I have other options really to actually use, so I don't even focus on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the skills. And now for the skill enhancements, the Bomb. You already know I keep Prophecy Blade. This is your mana recovery. If you don't have this, you're never gonna have mana unless you have pots on you. And typically, this is just the best. This is just the best skill to have, really. I don't see people use Dominion Slash really in Succession, but hey, they do. That's cool. But yeah, I'm keeping Prophecy Blade. All right, next skill, you already know, Mirage Assault. Honestly, I've been thinking about Owl's Mirage, but I prefer Mirage Assault. It's quicker, even though I don't have the block, but I have that super armor, 4 guard and super armor. So, people love Sand Tornado. I prefer Shadow Slicer. This move is just, it's great. It's great, and you'll see why. You'll see why. All right, boom. So there you go. Your bomb skills: Prophecy Blade, Mirage Assault, and Shadow Slicer. All right, guys, so these are my skill add-ons. Since I have a certain way of using Succession Hashashin, these basically my basic skill add-ons. If there's any better add-ons I could add for these skills, put them down in the comments down below, or let me know any errors that I made with these skills. So yeah, just take a quick look or pause the video if you need to, you know, if I move too fast. All right. It's a beautiful day in the battle arena. You already know where we're gonna start off with is the movements. And after movements, we're gonna do combos. And as you already know from my last guide for the Awakening guide, I will put the abilities that I'm using on the side of the screen or somewhere around the screen. So just keep a lookout for them. So you already know his movements. Here's what's it called? Sand Slicer. You know, if you use an ability, you can use it right after. That's your little movement. You have Holiday Assault, which is this right here. You have Piercing Tornado. You have your main ability, Prime Sand Warp, really quickly. And the one that I chose, the reason why I chose the bomb skill Shadow Slicer is because of extra movement and because of stiffness. So like this. Boom, see? Stiffness. If you hit it right, you can get your stiffness. But you have to be angled in a certain way for you to hit it. It's kind of hard, but once you start using it, It's really easy. But to put all that together, you can really mix up all those movements any way you want. You can start off however you want. It just depends on how you want to start off. I always start off with the jump because I can get a stiffness off of it if I'm fighting someone. But since it's just movement, just follow along. So, sand slicer, shadow slicer, holiday assault, tail cutter, sand prime warp, and piercing tornado. Damn, it was kind of hard to keep up with all the abilities. Whew. All right, but we're gonna do it again. And you'll see the abilities that I use. And you already know I'm gonna do it in slow motion as well, so keep an eye out for that as well. So, let's go. Added a little sand whip after that. But yeah, it goes pretty far, like Awakening. You just gotta know the movements, and that's really it. Boom. All right, y'all, so right now we're onto the combos, and you already know, just follow along, and yeah, and I have the combos on the side of the screen so you know exactly what to press and when to press it. No, well, not when to press it, but you already know, like, it's gonna be on the side of the screen. All right. So first one up is, we're gonna do is Purge into Owl's Dominion, into Ridge Reaver, and to Dune Slash. So, boom, 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 and that's it. Fairly simple. I'll do it again. That's really it. I wish you could see the damage numbers or the minions' health going down, because it would really show you how much damage Succession does, but damn. It does a lot of damage, just know that. All right, I'll do it one more time. And that's just basically your first combo. That's all you have to do. Now, if you want to add something right after it, you can add Descent, or you can add Chosen Blade. Now, that was with Chosen Blade. Now let's do Descent. Since Descent has a down smash, if you're lucky enough to get the down smash, you can either go into Prophecy Blade or you can go into Chosen Blade. So that's if you get your down smash. With the dummies, you're always going to get the down smash because it's dummies. But if you find another player, be careful, because you don't always typically get the down smash. And by the time you're done with Descent, they're typically already dead, depending on the gear score that you have and depending on who you're fighting with that gear score. You know what I'm saying? So just keep an eye out for that as well. Okay, so another startup is Binding Spiral, which is this ability right here. The reason why this ability is so great is because of the stiffness. Usually I would do Binding Spirals and to what's it called, the teleport. But since the teleport is nerfed, because you have that animation, I wouldn't say to use it But if you can, go ahead. If you see that your stiffness is lasting long enough, go ahead. But I don't recommend it anymore. Before I would recommend it, but since the teleport has been nerfed, it's kind of hard to use the teleport because, like you just saw, there's an animation. Before it was just instant. I'm not mad about it because fighting other Hashashins with that instant teleport could be a little difficult. So they did kind of like, balance him out for other characters, but it is kind of hard to use his teleport, which is not bad. So Binding Spiral. So that's basically your one of your startup combos with Binding Spiral. Also be careful. If you're using Binding Spiral in a certain distance, it won't activate the stiffness. You have to land it perfectly. Because as you can see, look how close I am to him. He still gets the damage, but he doesn't get the first 2 hits of the stiffness. So you have to hit him with the first 2 tornadoes that you see pop up behind him. If you don't hit those 2 tornadoes, he's not going to get stiffness. Let me show you again. You see, like, even though with the red marker, Corsair showing up on him, he's still not gonna, get it. So you have to be a certain distance for you to hit Binding Spiral. So be careful of that. So I'm gonna show it to you again. After using Binding Spiral for a few times, you just know where the stiffness comes in, So it hit him first, so it stunned him, but it was meant for this guy right here. So I don't know why I keeps hitting this guy. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna come right here. Forget it. They're too close to each other. It's whoever it hits first is the ones that's gonna stiffness. What the freak? Okay, this is just stupid. Wow, I can't. Okay, I have to guess who I'm going to hit, I'm guessing, because it keeps on. Okay, there we go. It stiffness both of them, but hey, yeah. Let's do it again. Try it one more time. Now the other startup is using Binding Spiral and then going into a Piercing Tornado, but you have to do it really fast or you're not gonna get the float. Just like that. You have to do this really, really fast. If you don't, you might not get that the bound or the float. I think it's a float, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Oops. Yeah, see, yeah, you might not get that float off of Piercing Tornado. That's pretty much it for that, for starting off Binding Spiral. Another combo is using your tornadoes to get cover. You're typically invisible, so they won't know which tornado that you're in unless that you have this. You see the little shield icon? Ever since they implemented that, people know where which tornado to look out for, because the icon is going to pop up for super armor. You see? So people will know exactly where you're at. So that, you know what I'm saying? So they can look out for you. Before those icons came out, it was kind of hard to tell which tornado he was. but it still doesn't hide the fact that he can still hide in them and teleport while he's in it. So people won't know when you're gonna teleport. So it's perfect combo. But before you even get to descent, they're typically dead. Depending, like I said, depending on your AP, whoever you're fighting. I'm not gonna lie, if someone has 20 more gear score than you or 30 more gear score, with the tornadoes, it doesn't even matter. The tornadoes are just disgusting themselves, and he does a lot of burst damage. It won't even matter who you're fighting against. They're going to take that damage and they're gonna take it hard. Pause. All right, so that was one combo with the tornadoes. Rupture. The reason why I keep Rupture is if I'm a good distance from my enemies and I need to find a way to knock them down without using, Purge or Owl's Dominion, Rupture is your best skill. I locked it because I needed to to show the tail cutter movement. Boom, knocks them down. There you go. Rupture is an amazing ability. It has good range. It has good startup. Really, it's just the only thing I can say about his about Rupture is that it's too stationary. Cause you're in this stance right here for a minute, and if you don't hit your target, you're basically a sitting duck. So you basically have to be very, very careful on when you use it. That's why the only time I use Rupture is when I use this right here. The minute I use this, I enhance it. Basically, I use what's it called? Holiday throw. Enhance it for the knockdown and to the other knockdown from Rupture, and complete out with this. I know I'm saying this and that, but just know the skills are on the side, so I'm not confusing you guys. So Holiday throw into Rupture. Purge, Ridge Weaver, Owl's Dominion. You already know. You already know the good stuff. You already know the good stuff. These boys can't take Hashashin damage. You know what I'm saying? They can't. They can. He has too much abilities. Too much abilities. So I'm gonna do that one more time so you guys can see. He has good range on his abilities. His abilities go kind of far. Like right here will hit. Like you see that? That's some disgusting stuff. Yeah. All right. So that's basically, like I said, he has multiple ways of starting his combos, but all of his combos end the same. Like, as you see, it's always Purge into Owl's Dominion, into Ridge Weaver, into Doomstash. That's basically your bread and butter. And then Descent if they're not dead. You know what I'm saying? But typically they're usually dead before you get to Descent, or you use the first hit of Descent and they're dead. But yeah, typically they're usually dead before you get to Descent. Depending, like I said, depending on your gear score. If your lower gear score, it might not be. You might have to use Descent and maybe like an extra ability or two. But for me, I'm 267, almost 269. So they typically die really quickly. What else am I missing? Oh yeah, Shadow Slicer. Like I said, the reason why I use Shadow Slicer is to confuse my opponents. So I'll use this to get behind them or do some extra stuff. sometimes I won't even jump because jumping can either lead me into a stiffness knockdown or some type of CC. So sometimes I won't even jump. I'll just use Shadow Slicer. But you have to position yourself on where you want to hit your target. Because if you're using how I'm using like forward right here, you have to change your camera to where you want to go. Because if you don't, it's just gonna go, it's not gonna go straight. It's gonna do the slash, but typically you're gonna end up in the middle. If you're lucky enough, you might hit your target, but you're gonna have to change your camera on where you want to go. So basically, this is what I'm trying to say. You see? This is where I did not change the camera. If I changed the camera, I would probably most likely hit this guy, but since I didn't, I ended up in the middle between them two. I did not hit none of these dummies right here. So you have to position yourself on where and how you want to hit your target. Usually, I always go left to right because it's easier to hit. So I would not suggest going right to left unless you feel comfortable going right to left, but left to right for me is the most comfortable. So boom, just like that. You have to change your camera really fast. So either one, you update your camera sensitivity, or that's basically what you gotta do. I'm sorry, yeah, there's no other way around it. Just update your camera sensitivity, to be honest. If you don't, you're gonna be looking like that. So, yeah. So once you use Shadow Slicer you can lead yourself into a Purge, Owl's Dominion, Ridge Reaver, into Descent. So I'll show you what you do now. Like I said, his combos are fairly the same, so the reason why I'm always using Prophecy Blade is to make sure I get my mana back just in case someone's not dead, they have pots, and if the fight's going on for 10 days, and etc. So that's the reason why I keep using Prophecy Blade. I always mention Prophecy Blade because Prophecy Blade is the best skill to have. I'll do it one more time. There you go. Other skills that you can use is Chosen Blade. Chosen Blade is a really good ability. It stiffness them. If you stiffness them, this would be the best time to use your teleport. Right after Chosen Blade, their stiffness, teleport. And that gives you the free teleport basically. That's your free teleport. Other than that, I wouldn't really recommend teleport unless they're invisible, like not invisible, unless they're blinded by your tornadoes. If you throw out your tornadoes, that would be the best time to use your teleport because they won't be able to see you. 1, 2, it'll be pretty quick. Even though it has that animation, it'll be pretty quick with the tornadoes around because they won't know when you're going to use it. There's just too much effect going on in their face. But yeah, Chosen Blade is the best time to use your teleport because their stiffness and leads you into the combo. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting anything. You can also do your Holodale Throw and to the teleport, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would just say stick to your Holodale Throw into Purge. I think that would be the best damage combo. This right here would be your best damage combo. So you can use Holodale Throw if you have no other skills that's on, or if you have skills that are on cooldown, then go ahead and by all means use Holodale Throw into your teleport. But if not, then I would just say stick to this. That's your best bet. All right, guys. So when it comes to gear, this is my typical build. You could say it's not the best. Trust me, it's not the best build. Not yet, at least. It's not the best build, but this is what I have. I have a Tet Radiant, Tet Kudum, and a Tet Dandy. Always, you already know you need your Kudum for farming and damage, you know what I'm saying? Once you reach a certain AP with Kudum, you typically don't need Novar like that, unless you're PvPing. But if you're at like at 269 AP, 271, 275 AP with a Kudum, you typically don't need Novar. You already hit all the big brackets. So it's like, it's not that useful really, but you can still pick it up if you want. I just always keep the Kudum because of the ignore all resistance by 10%. I really find this kind of useful, especially since the Hashashin is built off with some evasion. So this kind of stacks up on it a little bit. Not really the evasion, but more of the resistance, you know. I can evade some things, I can ignore some, you know, etc. I'm supposed to be changing my helmet soon to a pen heave pretty soon. But so far I'm using the Greno. I have the Tet Demtree, you know, Muskins. I had with the boots. The reason why I'm going with pen is because I'm going for an evasion build. I want to see how it works with him. A lot of people say that evasion has to be stacked with the, like, you know, pen armor, pen gloves, and etc. But I just want to see how this build works before I make a final decision if I want to go for Ergon boots or just keep this. And if I do go for Ergon boots, I will change the helmet. I won't go for the pen heaves. You know, I'll change it to something else, maybe Griffins or something. But for now, I am going for pen heaves and the pen muskins whenever I can. I keep the Bex gloves because even though Libers is a evasion gloves, I just keep Libers just because of the amount of accuracy it gives me, and it gives me somewhat of evasion as well. So it's not that big of a deal. You already know the accessories, distortions. If you're low DP, if your DP is lower than mine, I wouldn't recommend you going for the distortion distro earrings because they do reduce your DP by 3. I wouldn't go for distro if you're low DP and you're low AP because you're just gonna die quicker and you won't be able to kill. So it wouldn't work to your advantage. The reason why I only go for this is because this is the only thing I can go for right now. I don't have enough money for anything else. Distros are really good, but you know, downside is the DP. Earrings, you already know Ring of the Crescent. I don't know why they have a Tet Latins and a Tet Ogres. They both do the same thing. There's no difference. And the AP that they give, there's no difference in accuracy. There's no extra stats anywhere. So I don't know why they have them both at the price that they are, especially since Ogres is cheaper than Latins. Like literally, Ogres Tet is cheaper than Latins Tet. The only reason why I got a Tet Latins is because at the time, there was only one Tet Latin for the cheapest price. There was no Ogres at the time at all. So I was able to get a Tet Latins for the lowest price. It was around like maybe what, 5 bill 800 when I first got it. So I took it and go. But yeah, when it comes to crystals and etc., I don't have the best crystal builds. I don't have, yeah, this is just what I have really. Like I said, I was only here just for the guide itself. I'm just showing you guys extra stuff that I have, but it's not necessary. If you can choose however you want to build your Hashashin with different crystals. I am going to choose my crystals soon. This was just something I just threw on because they were cheap crystals, but yeah. So you can choose however you want to build them. If you want to follow this crystal build, you can. If you're, you know, if you're around the same AP, if you don't have enough money to spend, you can keep these crystals on, you know. So, but if not, I would just say pick whichever one you feel comfortable with. All right, that concludes the video, guys. So you guys, let me know. I wanted to also mention this to you guys before I ended up the video. So yeah, so that concludes the video. Just wait for the combo. I say combo. Wait for the gameplay of the quick fights and etc. And you guys stay blessed. I appreciate y'all for the support and the help. I know BDO doesn't have a lot of content for console, so I'm doing my best to try to dish out more content as fast as I can. That's the reason why I've been working. So I haven't played no other games but BDO. I went from 247 last month to 267 AP, and my DP also went up. So I gained maybe an extra 40 to 50 gear score points. So I've been working really hard for you guys for this content, for this channel. So I hope I'm providing the best content I can, and just let me know what I can do to improve the content or the channel, or what you guys would like to see, and I'll do my best to improve on that. But till then, I appreciate y'all for the support, and y'all stay blessed.